Hey guys, welcome to a new video
with yours truly.
We are going to have a chat. I'm sorry if it babbles on a little bit. Welcome to today's video. As you can see by the title of the video, I am doing 24 hours of eating my old fear foods. So first of all, I just want to explain what a fear food is. I do apologise if you're someone who has never struggled with disordered eating or an eating disorder. If you haven't ever experienced that, then you're probably thinking, what on earth is she on about? Food is something that you should not be scared of. Food is an essential part of life and you need it to live, basically. Well, obviously. The food that, like...
Why do I not know how to speak?
A fear food is having a fear of a particular food due to a belief that you believe. So for example, you may fear carbs because you think they make you gain weight. So you begin to develop a fear of that food. And it's just an irrational fear. Like, it's like when people have a phobia of something that isn't going to harm them, but they're so fearful of it that it really affects their quality of life. I have had my own struggles. Like, I have gone through an eating disorder. I have gone through intense fear of food. I had fear foods, like, initially. And the point that I started to really get scared of my own fears was when I started to fear just food in general. A fear food is something that can genuinely really stress somebody out. It's something that is very personal to each individual person that is suffering. It's something that not many people might understand. If you told me about 10 years ago that I would one day be scared of white bread or I would be terrified of dairy, I would be like, no, I love food too much to be scared. I never intended on becoming so scared of certain foods. It just developed over time with certain habits and certain behaviours. So I'm doing this challenge today. I say challenge, I will openly admit now that I do not have any fear foods. Trying to overcome fear foods is hard, but it's so worth it in the end. I don't have any fear foods anymore, but I do have foods that I tend to avoid. Now, not because I am scared of them, but because it's just easy to not have them. So let me tell you an example. Butter, I don't have it on anything. Because I started eating more and I wasn't no longer like in recovery, I felt great around food. I could eat pretty much what I wanted, built a great relationship with food, built a great relationship with exercise. I started to think, I'm great. In fact, butter's not really the best example for me because I don't really actually genuinely like butter. Yeah, that was it. I was on holiday in August and me and my little sister both got a drink and I got her to get me a Diet Coke and she was getting a Coke and she came over to me and she was like, I'm not sure which is which. I think this one's yours. I got hit with a sudden intense fear that this could have sugar in it. I could potentially consume a drink that had calories in it. Now, I have had drinks with calories in them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not scared of drinks with calories in them if I have myself decided that I'm gonna have that drink with calories in it. So when I've intended to have a drink that hasn't got any calories in it and suddenly I could be drinking a drink with calories in it, I was like, I think I'm gonna go and get another one. In that moment I realised that is such a weird thing. Like, why am I so concerned about it? Like, I don't tend to drink sugar drinks because I just think that personally I wouldn't like to consume all that sugar. I'm not a massive fan of fizzy drinks anyway, so it doesn't bother me. Like, I used to be quite obsessed with diet drinks to fill me up and stop me eating food. That was one thing that I used to do in my eating disorder. So that was a reminder to me that even though I'm in a great place with food, there's still little niggly thoughts in my head to a point where I had to go and get a new drink. Now, to me, that didn't feel good because I suddenly felt restricted in the sense that I was like, no, I want to drink a Coke, but I don't in case it's got calories in it. And I think that's where the idea for this video came from because I was very like, why am I doubting it? That is why I'm doing this video. I'm sorry that I rambled on a little bit. I just wanted to really get you guys aware with what was going on with me and why I've done this video today and where I'm at, because honestly, I can't tell you guys that I'm in a much greater place, but there's foods there that, although I don't eat a lot, I think to myself, if I get faced with them, am I okay with that? And honestly, I am 100% much better, but there's still little niggles. You've got to kind of draw a line between saying no because you are dedicated to your goals or you say no because you are fearful. And, you know, it's a hard thing to determine, but you have to really be honest with yourself. Now I'm going to move on to breakfast. I'm going to sit and explain a few more things to you guys, and then I promise we can get into the video. So thank you guys so much for just, even if you've listened to the intro, because that was a hectic one. So back again in the same spot. Yeah, it's literally been a minute since I've recorded the intro. Breakfast today is 2 pieces of white toast, bread, toasted, with butter and peanut butter. Now let me talk to you guys about why I've chosen this option. I was very scared of having carbohydrates with my breakfast unless it was porridge. I was also scared of not having protein. So breakfast for me on a typical day would be scrambled eggs with courgettes because it was high in volume, it was low in calories, it was healthy. I also have this pressure on myself quite a lot, which I wake up pretty much most days thinking, right, healthy breakfast to start the day. And to me, a healthy breakfast isn't necessarily white bread with peanut butter and butter. But actually, like, I had that breakfast a while ago, and to be honest, I feel pretty satisfied from it. Now, a few years ago, like, I wouldn't have thought that toast would satisfy me because I would have thought carbohydrates aren't necessarily the thing that people recommend. People say you should have a high protein breakfast to keep you going throughout the day, to help to keep you full. And I literally thought that if I had a piece of toast or 2 pieces of toast, I would not feel full. So I chose white bread because I would find it easier to have whole grain bread or like seeded bread because 1, it's got protein in it, like more protein than white bread. So for me, white bread, it doesn't hold any like much nutritional value. So I would have this kind of feeling where I'd think, well, I should be having something with a bit more nutritional value. And that's where I find that I put a lot of pressure on myself for this whole like eating food that has nutritional value. So to have white bread, like, I'm not going to tell you guys that I really struggled to eat that white bread. I didn't, like, honestly, I didn't. I'm in a much better place now, but on a daily basis I wouldn't choose it. So to choose it over having the brown bread to choose it over having brown bread is pretty impressive for me, like, because it's something that I wouldn't normally do. Another thing is having butter. Butter was one of my major fear foods. Like, I couldn't eat a sandwich that had butter on. Personally, I still don't have butter because I don't actually really enjoy the taste of butter, but I used to really like butter and then I got so scared of it. Now I've had to kind of try it every now and then just to check that it's not my mind and it is actually my genuine taste buds. I went through a phase where I was just having dairy-free butter because I thought that was better. I do like to try and have dairy-free butter when I can because I like to try and eat some plant-based foods. But that's because of preference now, not because of fear. There's a difference. I don't know, it sometimes still feels a bit weird to put butter on a piece of toast and then put peanut butter on it. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I guess sometimes that is still the kind of fear niggling in my head. But like I say, I didn't struggle to eat it. I didn't feel bad for eating it. I don't feel like I need to run 5,000 miles because I've had butter on my toast. Like, that's another thing I wanted to talk about as well. Like, even if I had 50 calories of butter, I would genuinely feel like I'd put on so much weight just from having that little bit of food that I would feel like I'd have to go for a run, I'd have to exercise, and it was just so kind of tiring. I was constantly exhausting myself. And the next thing that I want to talk about is peanut butter. Peanut butter is a popular fear food because it genuinely is quite a high calorie food, but the reason that I chose the Aldi version of the peanut butter is because initially I was really scared of it because it was so high calories for such a small amount, and that's one thing that fears a lot of people, like foods that are really high in calories for only a little amount. But basically I chose like the more unbranded, like more sugar based one because I used to have this fear as well of not clean foods or more processed food. So once I started having peanut butter and I was fine with peanut butter, I was still genuinely scared of having peanut butter that was not sugar-free peanut butter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it still had pretty much the same calories, it just had a bit of extra sugar. I was constantly reading food labels, comparing calories and seeing like which was better, but that was really hard because like you'd find the lower sugar foods were higher in fat, and then I'd be freaking out because I'd be like, do I have lower sugar for less calories, or do I have higher fat for less sugar? And it just used to really stress me out, and it was really, really hard. I remember one day I was really brave and I thought, I'm gonna get pasta today, and I was comparing the brown and the white, and I thought, you know what, let's do it. Now, my head was telling me brown because I was scared of white, but then I was reading that the brown was higher in calories and the white was lower in calories, and that messed with my brain. Like, I was like, okay, what do I do? And then the brown was higher in carbs and the white was lower in carbs, and I was like, what should I get? The lower calorie, the healthier, the one that I'm scared of, the one that I think is okay because it's healthy, but the one that's higher in calories, so should I get the lower calorie one? My head used to be so messed up with labels and things like that. It was just so stressful that I ended up not getting any and just thinking, okay, I'm gonna get chicken, I'm gonna get a salad, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I feel comfortable having that, and I feel uncomfortable with this food and this label and everything that it's doing to my head. I hated it. Like, I genuinely hated that I was so concerned with the labels, and that's why I try not to get too caught up in labels. I try to just think about what I like and what I know is good for me and my body and what I enjoy. And calories, just, yeah, you know, obviously I'm aware of calories, very much so, but they don't consume me. I really am sorry for like the fact that this video is going to be quite
explaining
and informative and sharing my own personal experiences, because I just think they're so important when it comes to videos like this. In the past, anything like white bread and peanut butter, I'd instantly see it as a bad thing. So I'd instantly think that my day was ruined because I'd ate a bad thing. And so I'd instantly call that day bad, even before it even, like in the morning, I'd be like, this is a bad day. And that would make me want to then eat more and more bad, like not bad, but more and more foods that just didn't make me feel good inside. Honestly, I'm grateful for the days that I just ate so much food, because it's made me less scared of food now, because I see that I've ate so many calories and have kind of settled in weight. So obviously that had to happen for me to recover. I really am grateful that I now just see food as food, and like the fact that I used to see white bread as a bad thing and that would lead me to have a bad day, I now just see it as breakfast and a normal person's breakfast and what a normal person would eat. And yeah, you know, I could have chose more nutritional value food, but I didn't, and I'm still okay. You have to really build on that relationship, and it's something that I've had to work on a lot. So if you guys are struggling, just remember that I'm trying to be so brutally honest with you guys, and I'm trying to really help you guys out. Like, it's hard, and I sometimes forget how hard it was because I'm through it, like I'm through the storm. I could develop bad habits if I didn't focus on being positive with my relationship with food. This is why I'm here today. Like, I really want my life to be about helping other people and showing you guys that you don't have to be that way. So right, I'm gonna go to the gym, guys. Next meal will be a Fia food. So I'll see you guys in the next meal. Bye. Hey guys, so just at the Trafford Centre right now. I think I forgot to tell you that this is where I was coming. I'm actually going to be going to Five Guys. Now, hear me out here. I'm not the biggest fan of red meat. I used to absolutely love McDonald's Big Mac burgers when I was younger. I was always a cheeseburger fan. Nowadays, I don't really have them. I went through a tremendous fear of red meat. So I am going to go and try a Five Guys burger. I'll be honest with you guys, on the way here, I was really debating it. I was really thinking, should I have something else? Like, I don't feel like a cheeseburger is going to make me feel good or anything like that. And I think it's just my own mind just trying to make excuses for myself. So another thing I wanted to say actually was, like, generally speaking, like, Five Guys would be like a typical, like, what you'd see in a cheat day video for a lot of YouTubers that do cheat days and stuff like that. I quite enjoy cheat days, although I do like to kind of call them treat days in my own mind. Like, obviously, if you want to engage people with your videos, you probably should call it a cheat day, because that's kind of what draws attention. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if you can get views and you can also promote a good message, then I do agree with that. I don't particularly have cheat days, but I have days where I wake up and I just feel hungry, so I think to myself, you know what, I'm gonna have a day today where I just eat what I want. But I also realise that if I get to a point where I wake up and I'm so hungry that I want to eat whatever I want, I clearly have been in too much of a deficit. Yeah, a lot of people have Five Guys on cheat days, that's what I was saying, but it's also okay to not call it a cheat meal. Just because I'm having a Five Guys, it doesn't necessarily have to be a cheat meal. You don't have to look at it that way. And I think the more that I looked at things that way, the more that my relationship with food was absolutely shocking. I'm just going out for dinner, going to the Trafford Centre, going out for dinner. Although I'm a little bit debating it, because again, I'm not the massive fan of beef. Like, I don't know. I mean, we'll find out, won't we? Like, I think I enjoy them, but they're just not something that I crave, so I don't tend to have them, if you like. I try not to eat red meat just because I don't really enjoy it, like the taste of it. But as a burger, I think it might be different. But again, cheeseburgers are something that I massively feared, like anything like fast food, processed. So the chips as well will be a massive one. I never used to eat chips because I used to be so petrified of them. I told myself I didn't like them for so many years. I can think of nicer food than chips, but they are nice. Like, I do enjoy chips. You know, when you're having one of them days, you just fancy some chips. Yeah, let's go. We are at the Trafford Centre. I've already said that, but I'm going to go in the Trafford Centre and we're going to have some food. See you guys there. Okay, so I'm gonna take my coat off and I'm back in the car, by the way, guys. Obviously, you can tell that. I just wanted to explain something. You know, like I said, I was gonna get a fizzy drink. Well, I'm sorry, but I was not paying £3.40, call me a stinge bag or not, for a fizzy drink when I could get a Starbucks for the same price. So basically what I got instead was a gingerbread latte, which I don't normally get with dairy milk, so that's a start. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't really like gingerbread, so I don't know why I did this. And I don't really like lattes hot unless they're like plain without any syrup in. So the syrup is actually not sugar-free, so that is another kind of new thing for me that's different. I never used to have dairy because I used to be quite scared of dairy, like dairy milk, not Cadbury's dairy milk, but dairy milk. I've never had a latte with normal milk. I've always had almond milk lattes. And then last but not least, because I didn't get that and I felt bad and I wanted to show you guys that I was challenging myself today, I got myself a cookie dough, which looks pretty epic if you ask me. I mean, I'm pretty full up, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about this, but I'm definitely going to give it a try. I mean, it looks amazing, don't get me wrong, but this kind of thing was such a scary thing for me. Desserts were always like Greek yogurt, blueberries. I never went for anything like this. I was just so terrified of eating so many calories, and yeah, I don't know the calories in this and I don't intend to find out, but I intend to enjoy it, so I'm gonna give it a try. I've never tried my cookie dough before, but it is really good. So I'm gonna set the camera up and I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna drink this. I mean, that is an achievement, guys, like a dessert and a drink in one. For a lot of people it's just a normal thing, but for me to just go out and have something like this and it just be normal, and for me to not feel guilty about it, for me to not think too much about the calories, for me to not think how much exercise I've got to do over the next few weeks, like that is such an achievement in my eyes, because this is not how I used to be. If I wasn't filming this video, I probably wouldn't have got any of this, because I'm just not in the mood for it today, really. Like, I was in the mood for healthy stuff, to be honest, because I genuinely like that stuff. But to do this, particularly on a day that I'm not in the mood for it, is even more challenging and of an achievement for me. I've still got to have tea yet, but we'll just wait till I get hungry, because I'm honestly like quite full up. Even though I haven't ate healthy, I'm genuinely so full up from the food. And that was always my fear, like if I was going to eat unhealthy, that I'd not stop eating all day because I wouldn't ever feel full up from it. I'm going to eat the cookie dough and then I'm going to see you guys in the next clip. So, bye. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, that has absolutely done me over. I'm trying to drink this to like help it, but it's not. Basically, I am literally defeated. That is quite an interesting thing for me, because even though I ate very, very, very little, I used to have extreme hunger days. Now, extreme hunger days, I could eat 3 donuts, I could eat a pack of cookies of 4. Although I was really tiny, I'd restricted for so long that I could not stop eating. I didn't talk about that in the moment that I was in that, because it was the hardest thing for me to deal with in recovery. You spend so long restricting and feeling good because you are in control, and in recovery you start trying to introduce things to your diet gradually, and the minute you start introducing things to your diet, like, it doesn't happen to everyone, I guess, but for me, my hunger started kicking in, and eating made that hunger even worse. So that was why I relapsed about 2 months in, because in the January after Christmas, I'd felt like all I did at Christmas was eat, and I'd go to bed and my stomach would be so extended. I remember Christmas Day, I was really upset with myself because I just felt like I couldn't stop eating, to a point that I couldn't physically move my body, and like my stomach, I thought literally that night I was going to explode, because that amount of food that I ate, I probably could eat now and my body could handle it, whereas then my body wanted all this food but it couldn't handle it. Because your mindset's so warped, what I thought then was so much food, I look back now and think it wasn't, but it just felt like it was. Honestly, like, if I would have ate this back then, I would feel right now so disgusted in myself. This is what I mean by fear foods. They are so evil and they do take over your life. Although this would have made me feel bloated back then, it wouldn't have satisfied me. I know it sounds crazy, like, as much as I felt guilty for eating it and wanting to restrict afterwards, I still would have felt hungry. Whereas now, like, because I've spent so long eating the right amount of food and getting myself to a place where my body's happy, my appetite has calmed right down. Like, yeah, I do sometimes still get extreme hunger days where I feel like I just can't get full up, but I think everybody has those days. But I was literally waking up every day starving. Nothing would ever satisfy me. That's why I used to be so scared of going out to eat, because I just had this feeling that it wouldn't satisfy me. So I always tried to eat high volume to satisfy myself, when in fact I was making myself worse because I wasn't eating enough calories, so I was still hungry anyway at the end of the day. Even if I felt full, like I wasn't giving my body what it needed. So if you want me to do another video like this, then I definitely will. I think I'm actually going to end the video here. This is not a cheat day, so I'm not trying to go crazy on calories. I'm honestly satisfied. Like, I am quite full up, but I'm not stuffed to a point where like I just feel horrible for it. If you have any fear foods that you want me to eat for 24 hours, send me them, DM me, Instagram me. If you have any questions on how I've got to this point in my life where that is no longer scary, then let me know and ask me. Go ahead. I'm completely open to it, really, because I just think if I can help somebody out there, then that is my job here done. Not literally, but I'd feel great for it. So I am going to try and do more content like this, because I feel like there's people out there that it could really help. And also, a little disclaimer, I just wanted to let you guys know that although I'm saying you can eat all this and all this, you already know that I am into health and fitness. So of course I don't eat like this every day. Like, if I ate cookie dough every day, I would literally be in bed. I wouldn't cope with that amount of sugar in my body every day. I truly believe that you should eat what you want, but I think there's something a bit worrying if you want cookie dough every day. If you had cookie dough every day, it wouldn't even be a treat anymore, would it? Like, it'd literally just be something you have every day. Like, what would be a treat if you had cookie dough every day? But genuinely, our bodies do want the food that's good for us. I don't know anybody that wants cookie dough every day. I mean, I know it's amazing, but now I've had it, I don't think I want to see cookie dough for a long time. Whereas when I was restricted, I'd watch videos of like cookie dough. Not literally watch videos of cookie dough, like
Cookie Dough's vlog channel over here.
no, I literally would watch cheat days of people eating food and fantasize about it. And I've heard that that's happened to other people as well. The reason why was because I was so restricted. Now I'm not restricted and I have this when I want in moderation. I just don't feel that kind of sense of restriction anymore. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any other video suggestions for me, do not forget to leave them down below. If you want it to be a challenge, if you just want to hear more about my fitness journey, my recovery story, I'd be happy to share that with you guys. I apologize if it's been a bit boring. You know, I do try and make these videos as fun as possible. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.